The ocean holds its secrets close, whispering tales of lost souls and sunken fortunes. But one name echoes louder than most, a chilling reminder of greed, rebellion, and the sea's unforgiving wrath, the Wida Galley. Welcome to Uncle Boogie Productions. Enjoy. In the year 1715, amidst the swirling fog of London's docks, a ship was born under the watchful eye of Sir Humphrey Maurice. The Wida Galley, named for the West African kingdom of Whydah, was no ordinary vessel. She was a creature of ambition, 110 feet of timber and iron designed for one purpose, the transatlantic slave trade. Her three masts clawed at the sky, promising speed and strength. But beneath the surface, her hull was a floating prison, destined to carry the weight of human misery. Below decks, the air would soon be thick with despair, the clank of chains a constant, haunting dirge. In early 1716, under the command of Captain Lawrence Prince, the Whydah embarked on her maiden voyage, a descent into the heart of darkness. Laden with textiles, iron, and muskets, she carved a path across the Atlantic to Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria, and Benin. At Whydah, her namesake port, the ship's hold swallowed an estimated 500 souls, men, women, and children torn from their homes. Their cries were muffled by the creaking timbers, a symphony of sorrow lost to the vastness of the ocean. Alongside them came treasures of the coast, gold dust, ivory, and whispers of wealth yet to come. The Whydah then turned west, toward the Caribbean, where its human cargo was traded for sugar and silver, a cycle of torment completed as it aimed to return to England's shores. But the sea is a fickle mistress, and the Whydah's fate was already shifting in the shadows. It was a vessel of duality, slave ship and merchant, a floating coffin and a promise of profit. Little did Captain Prince know that his creation would soon slip from his grasp, claimed by a man whose name would echo through the ages, Samuel Bellamy, the Prince of Pirates. Born in 1689 beneath England's gray skies, Samuel Bellamy was a man forged by hardship. A sailor by trade, he once sought honest work, but the world offered little to a soul like his. Driven by hunger for freedom and disdain for the rich who preyed on the poor, he turned to the sea's lawless embrace. By 1717, clad in a black coat and with hair as dark as midnight, he earned the moniker Black Sam, a pirate captain whose charisma burned brighter than his blade. Bellamy's ascent was swift and ruthless. With his galleon Sultana and sloop Marianne, he terrorized the Atlantic, capturing over 50 ships. Yet he craved more, a flagship to match his ambition. In late February of that fateful year, destiny delivered the Whydah into his hands. Sailing the treacherous windward passage between Cuba and Hispaniola, Captain Prince found himself hunted. For 3 days, Bellamy pursued, his cannons roaring like thunder across the waves. Prince, outnumbered and outgunned, surrendered with barely a shot fired, his fate sealed by the pirate's cunning. Bellamy saw in the Whydah a dark mirror of his own soul, swift, fierce, and unyielding. He claimed it as his own, sparing Prince with a twisted mercy. The Sultana, along with $20, a fortune worth $3,800 today, was gifted back to the defeated captain, a gesture laced with mockery and honor. The Whydah, now reborn, was transformed. Bellamy raised its top deck, stripping away excess weight to sharpen its speed, and armed it with 10 more cannons, swelling its arsenal to 28. With 150 men, sailors, escaped slaves, Native Americans, and outcasts, he forged a crew bound not by chains, but by a shared hunger for liberty. The Whydah, now a pirate ship, became a specter on the high seas. Its black flag, adorned with a skeleton spearing a bleeding heart, struck terror into merchant hearts. Bellamy's raids were relentless, his tactics a blend of guile and ferocity. He'd approach under false colors, a wolf in sheep's clothing, before unleashing his crew upon the unsuspecting. One prize stood above the rest, the Marianne, a British ship heavy with Madeira wine. Its capture was a triumph, its cargo a pirate's dream, yet its captain's defiance sowed seeds of doom. Bellamy's wealth grew monstrous. Gold coins, silver bars, ivory tusks, and jewels piled high in the Whydah's hold. By April 1717, it carried 4.5 tons of treasure, a hoard worth millions in today's coin. Tales whispered of his exploits, calling him the wealthiest pirate of his age. Yet beneath the plunder lay a tender thread, Maria Hallett, a woman waiting on Cape Cod, her love a beacon pulling him north. "One last haul," he promised his crew, "and we'll be free." Life aboard the Whydah was a strange harmony. Bellamy ruled not with fear but with a rare democracy. Votes decided their course, spoils were split evenly, and the injured were cared for, a stark rebellion against the world's cruelty. Among the crew was John King, a boy of 10 or 11 who'd forced his way aboard, his small shoes a haunting relic of innocence lost to the pirate's life. April 26, 1717, dawned cloaked in menace. The Whydah, fresh from seizing the Mary Ann, sailed toward Cape Cod, its crew drunk on victory and wine. A thick fog rolled in, a shroud that hid the horizon, and the wind began to howl, a nor'easter brewing with unholy fury. Bellamy pressed on, his navigator faltering in the gloom. Near Chatham, Massachusetts, the storm struck full force. Waves towered like giants, winds tore at the sails, and the ship groaned under its burden of treasure. In the dead of night, the Whydah met its end. It slammed bow first into a sandbar, the impact shattering its timbers. The sea roared in triumph as the vessel capsized, hurling men and riches into the abyss. Of 146 aboard, only 2 clawed their way to shore. Thomas Davis, a carpenter, pressed into service, and John Julian, a young Mosquito Indian whose fate would twist into slavery. Bellamy's body washed ashore days later, his silk sash and pistol marking the prints of pirates' grave. The storm's aftermath was grim. Wreckers scoured the coast, claiming what the sea spat out, while Captain Cyprian Southack arrived to bury the dead and salvage what he could. Yet most of the treasure sank beneath the sand, a fortune lost to the deep. 8 survivors were captured, 6 hanged in Boston as Cotton Mather preached their doom. Davis and 1 other were spared, their pleas of coercion echoing into history. For over 260 years, the Whydah slept, its bones buried under 14 feet of water and 5 feet of sand. Legends grew, tales of gold and ghosts haunting Cape Cod's shores. Then, in 1984, Barry Clifford, a man driven by a 1717 pirate map, found her. The bell, etched with the Wida Galley 1716, sang her identity to the world, the first authenticated pirate wreck of the Golden Age. A brass placard in 2013 sealed the truth. Over 200,000 artifacts emerged. Coins from West Africa, cannons, a child's shoe, John King's perhaps, and weapons that once roared in battle. The Whydah Sea Lab and Pirate Museum now cradle these relics, a testament to a lost era. Exhibitions like Real Pirates carry its story across cities, blending awe with the unease of its slave trade roots. Each dive uncovers more, a slow unveiling of secrets the ocean guards jealously. The Wida Galley is no mere shipwreck. It's a dark mirror of humanity's soul. Born to bind, it broke free to plunder, only to be claimed by nature's wrath. Its legacy weaves through time, from the screams of the enslaved to the laughter of pirates, from the storm's fury to the silence of the deep. Here at Uncle Boogie Productions, we've peeled back the shadows to reveal its truth, a tale of daring, despair, and discovery. If this journey into the Wydah's mysteries has gripped you, hit that subscribe button and join our crew. Share this video with those who crave stories like the Whydah. Thank you for watching.